so you should be able to record on your end. We're also recording this on our side. If you have a question, we ask that you utilize the chat feature and send a message in there if you have a question. And then we will unmute you. I'll call on you, allow you to ask your question to Oscar, and then mute you again. So if anyone has any questions, again, please utilize chat. To get things started, Oscar, if you could just give us a little bit of the feeling now that we've taken this step and opened up individualized trainings utilizing the training fields.
Yes, thank you, Jackie. First, let me say hello to all of you after this long period where I bet we all missing the game and missing our jobs and our routines and obviously the possibility to interact. So it's great to see you again today. And as you know, we have been allowed to do the individual training with the players. And today we complete our 7th day where we can have them in those quadrants in the field. And it has been great. The boys look very good. They have been excited about the opportunity that the league has allowed us, and we're all content with it.
All right, for our first question, we're going to go to Ileana Limon Romero with the Orlando Sentinel. Ileana, go ahead with your question.
Hi there. Thank you so much for the time. I wanted to see how much training time do you think the teams will need to be able to play matches?
But it's very uncertain, and we all depending obviously about the decisions from the league. I think we all in the same spot where we allowing the government and the people who is above us on those decisions and just let them operate and give us directions. We are very optimistic. I think about a month or around, we will very pessimistic about the possibility to play games. I think today it is different. I think we all seen something or some signs that just let us see things coming back. But I'm in the same spot as you. I'm just waiting for the league and the governments just to make those decisions and allow us to first change the protocols in the training ground and then along play the games that's what we want.
We are next going to go to Mike Gramajo. Mike, go ahead with your question.
Hi, Oscar, and everybody in this chat. Oscar, obviously, with the individual workouts having started, what have the reactions been from the players so far? Has there been any mixed reactions from them? And what is your reaction as well to kind of see everybody kind of get back slowly but surely into the game?
Right, yeah. Mike, it has been great to see them again, at least closer, with limits on the interaction with them. Because as you see, the protocols are being just keeping our distances and training one player in every quadrant of the field, and you see them how they train and go in and out to their cars. But somehow has been great just to see them from a distance to do their routines and training. Has been a long 54 days of not inactivity, because they had been keeping their routines on training, and somehow we as the coaches monitor those trainings, but just having them in the facilities has been great. The boys are happy. They are very excited and very optimistic to see this progress to the next stage.
We're now going to go to Adam Shadoff with Fox. Adam, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I'm wondering if you've seen the report about the possibility of all the MLS teams coming to Orlando to play out games in the rest of the season, and what you thought about that idea.
Right. I have listening to the rumors too. As you know, and I said in the first question, we are just waiting on Major League Soccer to talk about that deeply, and for us, it's just waiting. But what I can say is that this community is ready to do it, and then Orlando is the perfect city to hold an event like that, and base it in the experience, the infrastructure, uh, everything. Orlando has everything to hold it. So if the league decides so, I think it will be a great decision to bring it here.
We'll now go to Luke Hetrick with News 13. Luke, go ahead.
Oscar, good seeing you again, Coach. Other leagues have talked about when they would return if a player tested positive for coronavirus, they would not shut down the league again. What would your thoughts be if a player in MLS, when the season does return, possibly getting coronavirus, what would you want the steps to be then?
Right. I think we all may agree on the fact that this is new for everyone. We haven't get through something like that in our time of living. I think is every step is very uncertain for us, and we are reacting. And I don't blame the people who are making decisions daily, because this is not planned. It's something that it was very unexpected and unthinkable for everyone. Now, thinking that the league may bring the games again, and we all knowing that something can happen again, and the leagues are that fear. And Germany, Spain, Holland, they're experienced probably that fear to see if somebody get contagious again, how we do it. But my approach to this situation is that we have to be very optimistic, that we have to have faith on God, and He will help us to get through these situations. And I think we as a human beings has to be right now just facing this with bravery and see that some solutions will come soon. But I try to be positive. You see the fact that people is thinking to bring the games again is fantastic, and hopefully that happen, and try to go away from thinking that things may come wrong. I think we're going to get out from this situation soon.
We'll now go to Austin David with WPRK. Austin, go ahead.
Hey, Oscar. I wanted to get your thoughts on the MLS Development League that they've just done, taking place at the Development Academy. I asked Luis last week what his thoughts were, but you've been such a big proponent of academies in MLS. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the new league and how it might differ from the old one, and how it might benefit you as a team.
Right, Austin, it's a great question, because you know the passion that I have for the process and development of the teams and the clubs, since I have been in the league since the first years, and see this league growing in that department is fantastic. Now, the decision from the federation has created a bit of a chaos, and for me that's what probably what we all need, some shaking movements that can just provide us the opportunity to create a good model or a better model for development of our academies. So I think everything just come at once, the problem with the COVID, but at the same time, the news on the Development Academy just not continue with the federation. But I see it as a great step or great opportunity for Major League Soccer to have an structure that it could be more suited to the clubs. I think development of the players is going to happen no matter what. The structures may change here and there, but I don't think kids or parents or associations should be worried about it. I think the Major League Soccer is going in a great direction, and they have the people around that can keep moving this development and just become the soccer country that we all want. I see it very positive. I think we're going to go in a good direction in terms of the structure that the league is putting together.
We'll now go to Carlos Nava with ESPN. 1 second, Carlos. There you go, Carlos, go ahead.
¿Qué tal, Oscar? Buenas tardes. Oscar, con el gusto de saludarte y preguntarte qué tan complicado es después de que vienen de una pretemporada, 2 semanas, parar y ahora comenzar de nueva cuenta con entrenamientos y además de manera individual.
Sí, Carlos, un saludo muy especial. No es fácil porque, de nuevo, pues es una situación muy nueva para todos porque hemos estado reaccionando a las situaciones. Lo que hemos entendido con el grupo de jugadores y con los entrenadores es que no estamos en un periodo de vacaciones como lo estaríamos en diciembre en nuestro caso, sino que estamos en un periodo donde no podemos entrenarnos juntos, pero cada uno tiene la responsabilidad de mantener sus niveles físicos, de corresponder a los trabajos que los técnicos les están enviando, de monitorearse con disciplina, encarar lo más difícil que tenemos, que es no entrenar como equipo, sabiendo que el fútbol es un deporte de equipo, que es lo más difícil, pero a lo mejor eso pues nos haga valorar mucho más esa oportunidad que vamos a tener, ojalá pronto, Carlos, de entrenarnos ya con trabajos colectivos. Ha sido muy difícil, pero nos ha enseñado otras formas, nos ha mostrado diferentes caminos para reinventarnos y buscar la forma de entrenar a los chicos. Ha sido también de una manera de crecer para todos. Talking with Carlos about the possibilities that this problem has created for us on the challenge of training the boys individually. And I say to Carlos that that chaos and that crisis still has created a great opportunity for us to reinvent ways and methodologies and review it and see how can we train the individual player. And somehow I feel like we all growing despite of this nightmare.
Thank you, Oscar. We're now going to go to Tom Bogert with MLSsoccer.com. Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Oscar, thanks for doing this. Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on the FIFA proposed temporary 5 substitution rule. Are you in favor? And 2, if so, kind of how would you utilize that?
Right. Tom, good to see you. I think the regulation is healthy, but we're going to face a problem, and is the lack of timing probably to prepare the boys accordingly to the period of not activity. I would say that. I'm going to say not competition. Trying to level all the players at the point that we feel that they are safe and avoid injuries. If we're going to try to see model, as we all hear, that it may be a tournament or it may be a way to clock many games and trying to catch up with our league, and then certainly it will be a possibility of injuries. So having 5 substitution would help. I think it's a mystery for players or coaches that haven't experienced that method. Maybe here with the college has happened before and then they're used to it. But for us, it's fine. I think in terms to the health of the players, it's good. I like it. We'll see what things we can bring out of this exercise.
We're now going to go down to Gianni Eckhart down in Colombia. Giovanni, go ahead.
Buenas tardes, Oscar, desde Barranquilla, Colombia. Es un placer. Sabes que acá tenemos la casa de la Selección Colombia, Barranquilla. Yo te quería preguntar ¿qué clase de jugadores tienes en el equipo? ¿Cuáles son las características técnicas de tu grupo, en especial para la competición de esta temporada? Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros acá en Barranquilla.
Gracias, Giovanni. Un saludo para todo mi pueblo colombiano por intermedio de tu programa. A ver, tenemos un equipo que lo más predominante es la diversidad que hay. Tenemos 13 nacionalidades diferentes en un grupo de 27 jugadores de campo. Una diversidad muy importante en una liga que la caracteriza por darle oportunidad a muchas naciones, ¿no? No creo que pase eso en ninguna otra parte del mundo. Tenemos jugadores que bajo esa diversidad tienen características técnicas, tácticas también muy diversas, pero hemos agrupado un equipo que se ha ido pareciendo a lo que queremos poco a poco, ¿no? Jugadores técnicos, jugadores con responsabilidades, jugadores que nos puedan dar carácter y una identidad importante en el club. Esas serían unas características recomendadas siempre por nosotros para los jugadores que están acá en Orlando. I'd respond to a question about how is the complexion of our roster, and Giovanni from Colombia. And I say that we are a very diverse team, but just having almost 13 nationalities, different nationalities, and trying to bring players here that respond first to the culture of the country and the city and the club, and slowly trying to shape that up, just trying to give us identity.
We are now going to go to Nico Cantor with Univision. Nico, go ahead.
Profe, ¿cómo te va? Un saludo acá, Nico Cantor de Univision, un gusto verte de vuelta. Te tenía una pregunta básicamente sobre lo que expresaste, pero en inglés lo dijiste y diste varios conceptos bastante interesantes. Quería que me contaras un poquito sobre esos 5 cambios, pero también la preparación de los jugadores, la salud de los jugadores durante este tiempo y estas reglas que también cambian la preparación del técnico, que incluso un detalle dentro de esta regla que sugiere FIFA es que si hay alargue, se puede añadir un cambio más. Eso quiere decir que pueden llegar hasta estar 6 jugadores nuevos, que quiere decir que más de la mitad del plantel para un tiempo extra puede ser diferente del que arrancó.
Sí, Nico, un saludo muy especial. Mira, yo creo que como estamos todos respondiendo y reaccionando a esto que nos está pasando, pues a veces es muy difícil acertarle al análisis correcto de las regulaciones. Mira todo lo que nos ha costado acostumbrarnos al VAR, ¿no? Que al inicio pues parecía que era muy fácil, después empezamos a ver cuestiones distintas y diferentes y empiezan a haber dificultades y también bondades de los cambios de FIFA. En lo de los cambios ahora me parece muy sano porque vas a tener que utilizar más el roster de jugadores. Me parece sano para los chicos porque ellos de todas maneras van a sentirse también utilizados de la mejor manera. Ahora, se nos puede volver caótico si en algún momento alguien decide cambiar 5 jugadores en el mismo tiempo o si de pronto se está usando la regla no con el objetivo correcto, sino para gastar tiempo, ahí perdería un poco el fútbol, ¿no? De resto me parece que para la salud es buena. Y lo del cambio en extra tiempo, me parece que en mi opinión ya es mucho, ¿no? Estoy bien con los cambios, los 5. Yo creo que adicionar otro, pues ya sería, como lo decís, un cambio muy ya más de lo que estamos en el límite, yo creo, Nico. Talking with Nico about the question that Tom asked me about the 5 substitution rule change and things like that. So giving my appreciation about that. Creo que está bien, Nico. El 5 está muy bien.
Thank you, Oscar. We're going to go back to Luke Hektrick with News 13. Luke?
Oscar, what kind of impact do you think such a long layoff like this with an uncertain amount of training time to come back is going to have on the product when it does return?
I think the game will be increased on the let's say the times the cut in the game. I don't know how to say that in English. I think it will be more restarting. It will be eventually more fouls. I think it will take more time in the reinitiation of the games, whether it is a throw-in, is a free kick, is a corner kick. I think the real time is going to be reduced a couple minutes, which is a lot, since we are trying to promote that we can increase, if we could, to 55-60% of the time, just real-time play. I think in this period it may happen that we can reduce that time a couple minutes. I hope I'm wrong. I think it will be more teams with intermittency. It will be the flow of the game will be affected. I'm saying this in the negative part, because that's what I visualize, the things that can come as a challenge. Other than that, the fitness part, it will be something that I don't really know, and it will be a good scenario for a case study for people to see how the players react, because they had not been inactive totally. They had been training by their own, but they have been training. Obviously, they haven't trained as a collective, which is the most important. But if they did a good job on that part, coaches will be measured. We, as a coaches, will be measured, and how is the level of our teams in 54 days that the moratorium took, and how fast can we put him back into the rhythm. That will be very interesting to see.
Thank you. We'll go back to Mike Gramajo. Mike, go ahead.
Bueno, Oscar, te lo voy a preguntar en español. Yo sé que la semana pasada, cuando hablamos con Luis Musi, dijo que cuando la liga regrese, que va a haber una gran posibilidad que los juegos se van a jugar sin los fans, los aficiones en el estadio. Quería saber tu opinión sobre eso y cómo se puede hacer eso, sabiendo que obviamente el deporte también es un negocio, y un negocio así se depende mucho en la afición que esté ahí apoyando el equipo y obviamente moviendo el dinero y todo eso.
Sí, Mike, creo que el fútbol sin afición es como bailar sin música, ¿no? De poner una analogía. Pero habrá momentos donde habrá que bailar sin música y tratar de hacerlo lo mejor que se pueda. A pesar de ese reto tan difícil que sería tratar de montar un espectáculo que se debe mucho a la gente, creo que tenemos una gran responsabilidad de reconocer que tanto han crecido los medios, todos ustedes, como el media hoy tiene una influencia tan grande que un partido de fútbol donde no hay gente puede parecer que sí hay gente, y no solo eso, sino que puede ser transmitido a millones y millones de personas. Eso lo digo con un reconocimiento muy alto a todos ustedes que han hecho del fútbol un deporte no solo popular por naturaleza, pero lo llevan a todas las esquinas del mundo, del planeta Tierra. Sus conexiones, sus formas, la evolución que han tenido ustedes, sus medios, nos da a nosotros la posibilidad de jugar a puerta cerrada y todavía mirar que puede ser una solución al problema financiero grandísimo que tiene el mundo. would like to remark that I think is a great question from Mike about what is the influence of playing without not people in the stands, and I see this as an evolution of the game. The people is the most important part of the game because we play because people buy tickets to see us play. No. And you guys spread what is happening in the fields and all these things is because there is audience and there's people interested on what is going on. But this is a good way for me to recognize how much you all have grown into this sport and take our game into every single corner of the planet. And now you're more protagonists than ever. And tell everyone in their homes that that we're playing, and it will be great. But the recognition goes to all of you, and hopefully, if that's the scenario, we can take the best of that.
I'm going to go back to Carlos Nava with ESPN. Carlos, go ahead.
Oscar, otra pregunta. Después de tu paso por México, sé que solo sucedieron 2 jornadas de MLS, pero ¿cómo has encontrado la liga estadounidense y cómo te has sentido tú?
Bueno, muy bien. Sabes que llevo pues tantos años en la MLS y estoy muy feliz también de estar acá. Y también muy agradecido con el pueblo mexicano y con el fútbol mexicano de darme la oportunidad de tener esa experiencia maravillosa de dirigir allá un fútbol tan competitivo. Want to thank through the question of Carlos is asking me about my experience in Mexico and how I found the league here in my return, but I always highlight both cultures. I think having the opportunity to coach here and there also has been a fantastic experience.
And for a couple more, we're going to go to Ileana with the Sentinel again. Ileana, go ahead.
Hi there. It's looking like it'll be a tournament play maybe to start back up for MLS. How many games do you think is reasonable to be able to expect to play in a week? Could players handle 2 games in a week or even 3 based on the fitness level and what you've seen so far? What would work in your opinion?
Yeah, Eliana, I respond that based in my experience as a player first. In the 80s and 90s, we used to play in my country long tournaments and almost 60 games a year. It was incredible. And when I remember that, it was Wednesday, Saturday or Sunday, on, and I see no problem. So I think the players are capable to perform 3 times a week with no problem. And if somebody isn't ready to do that, it is the opportunity there for another player that is waiting to play. So it will be also a natural opportunity to the coach to use the whole roster. So I see that positive, and 3 games a week for me, no problem.
I'm going to go to Farah with Telemundo next. Farah, go ahead.
Yes, hi. You hear me? ¿Me escuchas?
Sí, te escucho.
Ok, perdona si te hago una pregunta que a lo mejor ya has contestado, pero quería saber tu opinión sobre la posibilidad de que toda la liga de la MLS se juegue en el complejo deportivo de ESPN en Disney.
Sí,
¿Qué piensas de esa alternativa?
Bueno, te saludo. Pienso que pues ahora es un rumor, ¿no? Pero me parece que Orlando tiene la capacidad como comunidad del fútbol acá en la Florida de tener un evento. Yo no creo que haya muchos lugares que puedan hacerlo como Orlando lo haría. La infraestructura, la ciudad, la comunidad, o sea, la experiencia que tiene Orlando para atender eventos grandes, porque este sería un evento grandísimo, ya la experiencia la ciudad la tiene. Entonces, me parece que es ideal, me parece que la ciudad es ideal, me parece que la idea va muy bien encaminada y pues esperaremos a que ellos lo decidan. pero me parece que Orlando tiene todo para hacerlo. I'm just remarking with Farah the question or the comments that we made earlier about the rumors of being Orlando, the city that can host a tournament. I say it is just a rumor, but at the same time, I don't see any other city that had the experience and the infrastructure to hold an event as Orlando, especially for the community. The big community here is fantastic too.
Thank you, Oscar. We will finish up with one more question from Giovanni. Giovanni, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Oscar, nosotros tenemos acá en Barranquillas a Higuita, Cristian Higuita, que vino a Junior, jugó en el Orlando, no ha podido acá, no le ha podido dar porque le ha costado muchísimo adaptarse al Junior. Pero ustedes como equipo lo extrañan, el fútbol de Higuita, lo has podido reemplazar. Háblanos un poquito sobre esa ausencia. Thank you.
Sí, Giovanni, mira, cuando yo estaba viniendo a Orlando, se dio la negociación de Cristian. Creo que algo muy bueno para él, para el club también. Ya creo que era tiempo de que se renovaran un poco esas químicas. Sé que es un gran jugador y que le va a ir muy bien en Junior, que a veces esa adaptación cuesta un poco. Nosotros acá nos hemos animado a traer un par de jugadores importantes en esa posición. Uno de ellos es Junior Urso. Y claro que pues no lo entrené yo a Cristian, pero seguramente pues sus compañeros de alguna manera lo extrañan. Pero el fútbol es esa renovación diaria de todo, ¿no? Esas dinámicas del fútbol son así. We're talking about Cristian Higuita that is playing in Barranquilla in Junior, where Giovanni is working. So ask me about that feeling on not having him in the team, and my answer goes directly to the dynamics of the game and see how players goes back and forth or goes in here and there, and that's what the game is, and it's wishing the best to Cristian there in Barranquilla.
Well, thank you very much, Oscar. Thank you to everyone else for jumping on this call today. As I mentioned, we did record this, so if anyone has any issues, just reach out and we're happy to provide the recording.